It is my sincere hope that all Kenyans, wherever you are, whatever you're doing well. And I guess you are all anxious to receive the KCPE results, which will be announced shortly. And it is my sincere hope that as these results are released, I need to take this responsibility to give you some hard facts so that you can understand what will be going on. And one of the things that I want you to know is that after the release, there will be top 10 schools, top 10 pupils who performed well. And I want to say for a fact that there are students or pupils who will perform better. There are pupils who will do beyond their expectations. Congratulate them in advance. They will get 400 plus. Whatever they had targeted, they will perform better than, or they will exceed their expectations. Those will be very lucky pupils. They will be there after the release. And there will also be some pupils who will perform poorly in the sense that they will go below their expected targets. They will be there. It is evident. I'm sure that these are hard facts that maybe nobody will tell you simply because our culture or our country, we always focus for the best, and maybe we don't remember talking about KCPE analysis before the results are released. So today I'm taking that responsibility. Then there's number 3, another group that will just perform just the way they have been performing. They will be what we call neutral. They will be average. The 4th fact that I want you to realize, and this is the good news to everyone, is that the government of Kenya has promised since last year that there will be 100% transition from primary school to secondary school. That is, anybody who did KCPE this year, regardless of the marks that you get, you'll be guaranteed for a secondary position. That is a good news. Now, having said that, I also want now to analyze what I've just said. Starting from the ones that I congratulated, maybe your joy may be short-lived because you may be celebrating today. You have gotten marks above your expectations, you have performed well, you have received congratulatory messages, you are happy, maybe you are even lifted up and the people have sung to you, you have become famous, but there will be another process, and that is Form 1 selection. And in this Form 1 selection, there will be disappointments in some, especially those who have performed well, because you'll expect, because you have gotten 400 plus, the reward will be automatically to get to the high school that you selected as the first preference. To many, I want to remind you early in advance that this may not happen, simply because I've been there for many years and I've been going to Form 1 selections, especially last year. They had 100,000 had proposed that they want to go to Alliance Girls, and the capacity in Alliance Girls is around 500 to 600 pupils. So if 5,000 performed so well, 400 plus, definitely they will not all be admitted in Alliance Girls or Kenya High School or Mangu or Pangani Girls. Those are the most popular schools. Most people wanted to go as the first selections. So those who performed very well, I would encourage even parents to guide them and to encourage them and to tell them that maybe this is where they wanted to go, but they have gotten a school that they didn't really want to go. They need to change their mind. They need to accept that school, because not everybody will go to the schools they prefer to go. And that is the challenge that comes about in this season of KCPE results release and then Form 1 selection. Some get so disappointed. I also encourage you to have confidence with good, well-managed private schools which run like national schools. those schools which are private schools, because we have had confidence with taking our pupils to private primary schools. We can also now have confidence in taking them to well managed private schools. In the near future, I may be sharing with you top 10 private schools that are well managed. We can take our children there, and I think that will be also part of the solution, because again, with this 100% transition to secondary school, some schools are stretched beyond capacity. A school with a capacity of 100 students, you realize they are given 150. Na principal anaambiwa ajipange. With every new development, there are always positive and negative challenges. You remember even during the Kibaki era, when he made primary school free and compulsory, we had a big challenge of the big numbers that turned out, and we didn't get quality education simply because of numbers. A teacher handling of 120 pupils in one class, that is, I think, ridiculous. With time, we have been able to manage, because many schools have been built, and new developments are coming up. So at this particular era, there is that congestion in those good schools, public schools. Parents would want or would wish their pupils to go. So it is good to look for alternatives, especially for those who have performed well. And number two, I would want to address now those who performed poorly, those who performed below the expectations. Some are below the expectations, but maybe you got 350, you wanted 400. By the way, if you got 350 and you are aiming at 400, you have not done badly. You need to take heart. Those who did extremely badly, getting below average, below 250, I want to encourage you by telling you that passing exam does not mean that you have succeeded in life, and failing exam does not mean mean that you have failed in life. I want to remind you, a great soldier lives to fight tomorrow. So you have an opportunity when you go to high school. You can fight tomorrow and end up performing better than you did, because the word today, if you write the word today, has one O, meaning it has one opportunity. Tomorrow has 3 O's, 3 opportunities. So if you perform poorly, remember that you can be able to make it up in secondary school. I remember a student last year who was announced in the KCPE results, who performed so well in a school in Moranga, who had been admitted with 178 marks, got an A-. So these 4 years is an opportunity to change whatever you got in primary. When you go to secondary, you can make a difference. So all is not lost. And the good news, the very good news, is that you definitely get a position in secondary school in the spirit of 100% transition. And you may be here today and you want to go there. The difference between here and there is one letter, T. T stands for time. It is a matter of time to move from where you are to where you want to be. I keep on reminding people about what Kipchoge said, that no man is limited. Even if you don't perform well in this exam, you are not limited. You can perform better later. And parents, please, as you talk to them nicely. Encourage them, don't condemn them. You know, there is a parent who asked a child, ati unasema unataka kuwa daktari na unaniletea D. Maybe if you want to become a doctor, maybe a witch doctor. Those are things that we should condemn as parents. We should not talk to our kids like that who have not performed well. Even, you know, we are going to festive season, Christmas. I remember last year another child who had not performed very well. When they went for Christmas, alikuwa nauma chapati, baba yake anamwangalia vibaya, anamwambia ungeuma mtihani namna hiyo si ungepata A. No, you know, those things really makes the child's self-esteem go down, and really affects them so much that they feel useless. You need to show that, you need to encourage your child, whether they performed or not. Tell them you're still a hero. Encourage them, and you never know. And by the way, those people who are shakers and movers of this world, you read their history from Albert Einstein, you realize when they were in a primary school, they didn't perform very well. I don't mean that performing poorly will guarantee you success, but what I am trying to say, encourage. The key word here is encourage. In good times or bad times, encourage them. In conclusion, I want to say that all is said and done. Students have performed, examiners have marked, the Minister of Education will release the result, and you get the results. Now, for you to succeed in life, you must remember the rules of life, you must work hard, you must go through the process of adjusting to Form 1. In the next video, I expect you to follow me, Wambugu wa Kamau TV on YouTube, so that I can give you tips on how to adjust to Form 1. Because this is also another area that really you need to know, because maybe you are in a day school, you are going to boarding school, you are in a private school, you are going to a public school. There are so many things you need to adjust. The exam in primary school is different from the exam in high school. In primary school, exams were multiple choices. In high school, there will be structure. So there's so much we can talk about when we meet in the next video. I wish you all the best as you get your results and as you move to the next level. Thank you. Ambassador Wambugu.